on already? No.
Yeah, well, let's see. That's right.
In my business, we don't use microphones very often. Okay, it's on. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Connie, of course. I own Clever Events, Hoboken, Georgia. I'm a brand new business owner. Just started this thing up in April of last year. I scare people for money. I run a haunted attraction. That's our largest event. We call it Screams. Some of you may or may not have heard of it. We had a really successful first season, and I'm super excited about this year. A couple of things I want to tell you about myself and why I chose scaring people as a business. I've been a stay-at-home mom for around 20 years, 18, 19.
That's scary, right?
That's scary. Before that, I was in sales and marketing. I sold business equipment. Now think back, 18, 19 years ago, business equipment, it's not the same business equipment we sell nowadays.
Yeah.
So once my children got older, and I thought, I'd really like to do something. I want to go back to work. I'm 47 at the time, and I'm thinking, yeah, sales and marketing, that's probably not where I'm going to go back to. I didn't want to find myself in some cubicle answering a telephone 3-4 days a week. And I'd always have a love for things that are scary. Haunted attractions, haunted houses. I've been building them in my backyard since I was in my early 20s. And after going to several of them and seeing how successful, and especially if any of you guys ever been to one, you know, during the week, you know, the month of October, they're slammed. You could wait up to 2 hours. So I thought, you know what, I might could do that. Now my husband was a little bit more skeptical than that at first. And I had to convince him that I could do that. I have 2 quotes that inspire me daily. One is Walt Disney, if you can dream it, you can build it. And the other's from a movie, Field of Dreams, I believe. If you build it, they will come. And believe you me, come they did. So getting back to why I chose this and how it all came about. I just want to say a couple of things to people that are thinking about going into business for yourself and not quite sure. When opportunity knocks, answer that door. Last April, I had been looking at a location there in Hoboken for quite some time, and every time I would go there, in fact, it was a hair salon at the time, I would think, man, I could make this a cool haunted house. I could really do something with this. That location became available last April. The ball started rolling. Now, folks, the long road ahead of me was way longer and way bumpier than I ever imagined it would be. Having a haunted house in Hoboken, Georgia. First of all, I wasn't sure if I was even going to be accepted by the community. You know, we had to go through all kind of hoops and hurdles. There was a 10 o'clock noise ordinance in Hoboken, Georgia. 10 o'clock, guys. I had to go to city council meetings. I had to get everything approved just to be able to buy a business license. Once we got the ball rolling, I didn't stop. It was June when I finally was able to put down the first plan for the actual attraction itself, and it opened in October. We worked really hard all summer long, and I didn't let anything stop me. I kept right on going. I still didn't have an idea what I was going to do, and I certainly didn't have any props. Didn't have anything. Opportunity knocked again. In June, I got a phone call. A haunted attraction that had been running for 9 years in North Florida was closing and wanted to sell everything. So I had to go to my husband again, and I had to say, I'd really like to take some money out of our personal savings and do this. He had faith in me, and it worked. We acquired all the props. The thing about it for me is I wanted something to do. I knew I couldn't work for somebody else at this point in my life, so I made it my own dream and I built it, and I did it. And the biggest problem I'm having right now, I think, is even though I have a marketing background, and I'm hoping some of you guys can help me with some areas I could advertise in. Word of mouth is fantastic when you have a haunted attraction. That is it'll make you or break you, much like the restaurant business. So we made our mark. We hit it pretty high. And I just want to keep growing. I want to get bigger every year. We are the only attraction in our area that actually has 3 attractions in one. We have the house, which is a 100-year-old house, by the way. We have a corn maze, and we have a haunted forest. Brand new concept. We also introduced the first haunted attraction in our area to be open for Valentine's. We called it My Dark Valentine this year. Now, it was a very new concept, and I was afraid that it wasn't going to take off quite as much, but it did. It did much better than I had anticipated, as well as the October event. So, having said that, Clever Events is basically the parent company. We started out with the idea that maybe we would do birthday parties there and some other things. No, I'm not doing it. I decided that my love and my interest is absolutely 100% in the haunted attraction industry. So that's where we're moving on. We actually sold our bounce house this past week, and we're reinvesting that money into more props, newer props, going a little bit more high tech this year. Have bought some super special effects that we were not able to have last year. We literally did it completely old school last year. So, it's my time. I mean, there's only one thing I enjoy.
You've scared the fool out of me, so there we go. There we go. So, I know in Savannah, the haunted business is quite big because of tours.
Exactly.
We have a haunted tour on St. Simon's as well.
I've taken that one.
Have you thought of branding with them as well?
I do have another idea that's on the back burner. It's still in discussion, but it's something pretty big, and if I could get, it's going to take a lot of approval. It's going to be a lot of hoops to jump through, but it is something that I'm looking at for Jekyll, and it does involve I'm not going to say haunted part, but the haunted history. Let me say it that way. There are a lot of places on Jekyll that there's some history, and people like that. People love to be scared. Why do you think Hollywood makes so many horror movies? They love to be scared, and they will pay you to scare them. And I like scaring people, so.
I bet you when you started this, you scared your husband pretty bad, I tell you that.
He worries some nights about going to sleep beside me, I will tell you that.
So speaking of Hollywood, Georgia, of course, has a booming film industry now. Does that present any opportunities for you to in terms of access to props or anything like that, or access to people who have expertise in special effects?
I haven't looked at that option. That's a really good idea, because a lot of times they just discard the props. And that is something that, I don't know of any horror films that have been filmed in our area. I don't really know. I make most of my own props, I'll be honest with you. The gore is fun. I mean, I make my own fake blood. Like I said, he gets scared to sleep beside me some nights.
And how did you hear about the North Florida location closing down? How did you get wind of that?
It was, there's very few people that I don't know or have some kind of, I know people everywhere. Being in sales and marketing for so many years, I got out. One of my really good friends is, she works in a medical clinic. And the people that owned this, the husband of the wife that actually was running it, has some kidney issues. So for health issues and health reasons, he and she decided they were closing down. My friend heard about it, made the phone call, and like I said, when opportunity knocks, you answer that door.
Wow.
So it was fate. It wasn't luck, it was fate. I consider this meant to be for me. Like, this is my niche. I've found what I want to do. And like I said, in my first year, I've been very successful at it. Already working on October.
Have you thought about like a supper club where there's a pig picking, find some local actors, and actually have a show for someone while they're eating their pig?
One of the things that we have got on the table right now is doing a mystery dinner theater inside the house. That's one of the things. The problem with that is it takes so long to set it up, and that's the main reason I needed a location that I could have year round. But I need to be able to boost my income or, something during my off season. And the Dinner Mystery Theater is something that we've looked at along with some other events that are not haunt related. My husband really wants to do a barbecue cook-off. And the property that we have it's really big, and we have a nice area. I think you wanted to call it what? Smoking in Hoboken? Something like that. We didn't get that off the ground this year simply because of all of the rain that we had. If you know anything about Brantley County, we've been on the news repeatedly about our bad roads. The water was it flooded the entire area at the time that we were planning on presenting that. So it kind of set us back. That's another reason why I decided maybe I wouldn't do the outdoor birthday parties. It's so iffy with the weather. And so that's where we came up with My Dark Valentine, because I needed some income for some new props. So I made some money.
Couple questions for you.
Sure.
First, have you thought about zombies? My daughter was telling me there's this whole zombie Pride and Prejudice movie that she just absolutely loved. I'm thinking, okay, that's really weird, but there's a thought, zombies. The other is, I'm not from Georgia originally. Quite frankly, I'm not quite sure where your town is. How did they come in the first place? How did you get them to come in the first place?
Good question. Facebook, social media, word of mouth. We did some radio. I wasn't real satisfied with the radio advertisement, and maybe we didn't do enough of it. Maybe we didn't. I'm not quite sure what we did wrong. We did it again with Valentine's, and still I didn't see what I thought I should have. So far, our biggest form of getting the word out has been through Facebook and social media and word of mouth. Now, believe it or not, I had people come as far away as Atlanta, Georgia to our My Dark Valentine. They heard about us. Like I said, every day I tell myself, if you build it, they will come. And they do. It's crazy. People that like haunted attractions will drive hundreds of miles to a good one. Obviously, we have a good reputation, and we want to maintain that. So one of the things that we do to try to get people to come is I question them. I speak to almost every patron as they leave. I make sure that they had a good experience. Was there anything we could have done better? And that tends to, give me more ideas as well. I got just a little bit off subject there. But we are looking at we partnered with the Mariner Mates and are giving the students either a discounted ticket or a free t-shirt this year for coming over. And I'm looking at doing programs like that because that age group is a really good target market for what we do. And believe it or not, adults. The community of Hoboken thought we were doing it for children, which children enjoy it, don't get me wrong, but adults really like it. It's kind of a way to let your inner child come back out and get scared. So, any other questions?
Another question. Don't be scared. Oh, here we go.
With every year that you do your attractions, do you set up different themes that you go with?
Good question. Yes, that was one of the things when I developed my plan for the haunted attraction. That's the main reason we call it Screams. I did not want to put myself in a box where we're a haunted funeral parlor or a haunted hospital or a haunted school. We want to be able to play off of that every year. People want to see things change. And some of the biggest complaints that I've had about other attractions in our area is that they're always the same. So when we did my Dark Valentine, I decided on January 25th I was going to do this, believe it or not. I'm a fast worker. I opened the first night on, what was it, February the 9th maybe? I can't remember. I think it was February 9th. We were ready to roll. The people that had came in October, that came for the Valentine, were completely blown away because we had changed it so much in that short period of time. They were so impressed because nothing looked the same. Even the route that we routed them through was different. And that's the thing about this location that I had been looking at. That's why it was so key. When I found out I could get it, it's perfect. It has so many doors and entrances and exits. One of the things that I didn't mention that I would like to mention if I got just a little bit of time, we did the first thing that's ever been done in our area for handicapped individuals. Opening night of screens in October, the very first night we were open, we dedicated that to people with disabilities. We called it Chills on Wheels. I have a 24-year-old niece who has never been inside of a haunted attraction because she's been in a wheelchair her entire life. So one of the goals I set out when I did this was to make it fun and friendly for everyone. And we could not do it every night, so we dedicated one night where I could specialize in that person and make sure that their experience was for them. Whether it meant turning on the lights, whether it meant turning off flashing lights, whether it meant turning down sound. We did not charge for that event. We had a turnout. We had people, they bought buses and vans from Charlton County and Pierce County. And my niece, for the first time, got to experience what the inside of a haunted attraction looks like instead of having to see it from the outside. So that was one of the community give-backs that I really wanted to do. And getting back to your question, yes, we changed our theme. In fact, I have so many new ideas this year, and I have some really big new props. We're also expanding it. One other thing, we are the longest haunted attraction in our area. Our walkthrough will take you about 45 minutes of absolute screams.
And what's the cost?
We charge $15 per person. We actually, because of the lines, had to implement a fast pass this year. That was pretty cool because I was not even planned for that, thinking that we'll never get to that point. Well, we did, guys. In less than 2 weeks of being open, we were at that point. Our lines were backed up at 2 hours at times.
Wow.
So we did a $25 fast pass, and that included a t-shirt. Took you to the front of the line.
Goodness, I might suggest April 15th, a tax filing scary day. might be appropriate. You know, I mean, just think of the days that we could come up with. I think it's really cool. This is fun. Just dream up your day. Another question. Another question. Oh, there we got some over here.
So in my business, I've been working hard at being famous and fabulous. Obviously, you're doing a great job being fabulous at what you do, but you have to be famous. And I've been told so many times it's not about like being like Hollywood famous. It's that the right people know who you are, and that was kind of jumping out to me. That like you already have your niche of people that you know like it, but how then do you focus your marketing to those people? So if there's like, I don't know if they have conventions or gatherings or activities, that then you could be present or get your name out at that event so that you're instead of like the radio, maybe not everybody's interested in the screen factor, but then you know that maybe there's a specific radio show or a specific event that type of person that you're highlighting, whether it be the young adult or the zombie factor, that you focus on them.
That was really good. That was inspirational. I do want to be famous. I want to put screens on the map. Absolutely. That's my goal. And just yesterday, I'm gonna bring this up because this happened just yesterday. My husband he's discovered Marketplace, guys, so we won't even go